Good lighting and good audio will set you apart from everybody else. What's up, everybody? My name's Jason from Night Owls Media, and I am a wedding cinematographer. And today, we're going to be talking about reception audio. Yes, reception audio. It is hands down one of the most key elements of your entire day. And you might be saying to yourself, Jason, why are you talking about this? I already know everything about reception audio. That's fantastic. The one thing that I always found was very invigorating to myself is when I go to these wedding video conferences or these workshops, I don't really get much from it because I've been shooting weddings for over 10 years now. So most of the time I know everything that they're talking about, but it's very validating to know that they're doing the same thing I'm doing. So when I walk out of the workshop, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it right. So it just makes me feel like I'm on the right track. So having that kind of confidence really instills confidence on your wedding day, on your shoot. So instead of doing a tutorial about how you should do audio, I'm going to tell you how I do audio and why I do it this way. Good lighting and good audio will set you apart from everybody else. When I used to teach a college film class, the number one thing I could easily suss out to know that it's a student film or an amateur film was the poor lighting and poor audio. So if you have good audio and good lighting, you're already light years ahead of so many other people out there who aren't taking the time to understand lighting, to understand audio. And by saying that, I don't mean to rush out and spend the most amount of money on a light. Don't drop thousands of dollars on a light or thousands of dollars on audio equipment if it's not going to fit your story. The one thing I always want to preach is it's not the hammer that builds the table. Just because you have expensive lighting or audio gear doesn't automatically make your gear better. It just allows you an easier time to tell the story that you want to tell. So let's jump into this. About 2 months before the wedding day, I contact the couple and I go through a giant questionnaire, touching base with the things that we already have information on, touching base about their timeline, bunch of other information, and one of the things I always ask for is your DJ or band's contact information. About 2 to 3 weeks before a wedding, I always reach out to the band or DJ and I introduce myself. If it's someone I've worked with and I already have a great relationship with, I still like to touch base with them and tell them, hey, I'm excited to work with you. If I haven't worked with the band or DJ before, I like to introduce myself and the team who's going to be working that day. This is very important because I think a lot of people in our industry don't communicate with other people. And I think by simply stepping out of your comfort box and communicating ahead of time, it puts to bed a lot of problems that can arise on the wedding day. And I ask them permission if it's okay if I can plug into their system to record audio. Now, 99% of the DJs we work with understand that audio from the reception is absolutely direly important for the wedding film. So they know that videographers do this. However, I still always ask permission because I never want to assume that it's just going to be granted to me. They are offering us a favor and they're doing us a solid by letting us patch into their system to record. So I always want to respect their wishes, respect their gear. I also always tell the DJ that I like to have 2 patches in. I like to have one through the mixer and then one through the back of the speaker, which I'll get into in a second. Now, when the DJ or band does write back and we get to be on a friendly term in our communication and they allow us to patch in, I also always offer, if you would like any footage from the night, we are happy to give you some shots for your own promotional needs. I believe everyone works together in the wedding world and we all need to help each other out. And by them helping us getting that really clean audio, it's just a matter of us culling through the footage and giving them some clips that they can use for their own promotional needs. And it just helps everyone in the long run. So once you have your okay and your communications down, the day of, here's what I bring. God, come, Jesus. Good God. Now this is everything that I'm going to need for the day that is audio related. Now inside I have 2 H4n Zooms. They're a little bit old. I know I need to jump on the new ones, but they record beautifully. I never want to assume I'm going to put my recorder down on a table or something, because A, if the DJ doesn't have room or sometimes it looks sloppy, I don't want to intrude on their space when they're letting us plug in. So I like to have a bunch of different clamps that I can screw my recorder into, clamp it, and then it's out of the way and I can still plug in, get a nice crystal sound. I bring so much backup batteries because I never want to be the person who runs out of batteries and has to ask someone else for batteries, or even worse yet, not have any power and then lose the chance of ever getting audio at the reception. I bring every cable I can possibly think that would be of use. I bring XLR, 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch to composite, 1/8 inch to composite. I have no less than like 20 of these in my pack at any time because I always end up losing them, and I always make sure that they're the stereo versions with the 2 lines on them. I have XLR to composite, I have XLR to 1/8 inch, I have XLR to XLR, I have everything because I never want to be struggling to plug into a system. Any system the DJ or band's gonna bring, I'm gonna be able to plug into without an issue. One of my recorders goes through an XLR on the bottom, and this allows me to patch right into the DJ's or band's mixer board. So I get a nice feed right out of their mixer board. I have one recorder that I plug straight into the back of a speaker. Now this usually has an XLR out on the back of the speaker, which I can go directly into here and use one of my aforementioned clips, clip it to the speaker stand, wrap it up with gaff tape, make sure it looks really nice. You don't want to be sloppy when these DJs are taking their time to look good. And then make sure you're recording at a low level, and this will get the exact audio that comes out of the speaker. Now I only use this as a backup. Now I'm going to show you the main setup and how I get good clean audio. So not only do we have an audio recorder, but we also have one of these. This is a Whirlwind 1-to-2 splitter. 9 times out of 10, the DJ's mic is going to be wireless. So that goes into the wireless transmitter at the DJ's booth. From the transmitter, goes right into this port, which splits at a 1-to-1 ratio. And I think that's very important to let DJs know because we're not losing any audio quality by doing this. One of these ports goes straight to their board, so they get a 1-to-1 ratio audio quality. And then one of these ports goes right into our recorder, which again gives us absolutely pure feed from their transponder. There's no audio hiss from the mixer board or anything like that, or anything else to get in the way of getting good clean audio. I think I bought this for like $100. It is absolutely hands down one of the most important things I bring on a wedding day, because this allows me to bypass any issues that a mixer might give. The reason I bring that up is because sometimes everything sounds good, you do the audio test ahead of time, you make sure everything sounds good, and then the DJ accidentally turns down the volume on one of the ports because he's just not paying attention, and that's not their fault because they're focusing on their job. So they accidentally do something on the board which kills our audio, and we no longer have audio from that recorder. This bypasses that 100%. Now on top of the 2 recorders I also bring other backup recorders as well, because what if a recorder dies? I've never had it happen, but I'm not going to chance it. Also, always bring battery backups. Mostly these are for cameras, but in case I need to charge something, I always want to have battery and power available. I always have a shotgun mic on one of my cameras, and this is just to make sure I get okay sound. Now, you know you're never going to get good quality speech sound from a mic on a camera in a venue hall. It's not going to happen. But this is for my scratch audio or my wild sound, and this allows me to pick up everything in the room, and I can quickly sync it in post. And the reason I want that audio is because when people laugh at a speech, or there's heartfelt moments of ahs and oohs and clapping, I want that good sound coming from this and not from the tiny little mic on the camera. Now I know some videographers will drape a lav mic over the speaker, and I've heard it. It does sound far better than I'd expect it to, but I don't go that route. I think another very important aspect of recording is to always record your audio on a low or medium low end. So you can always boost it in post, but if you record too high and it starts to clip or get way too loud, you can never clean that up and you can never get that back. And the other aspect is always to record to the highest audio quality you can at 48,000 kilohertz. And so this is the same speed that your camera is going to be taking, so there won't be a lot of audio drift. Always record to wave if you can, or the highest quality wave you can, because you want the cleanest, best audio recording coming in. You'll always be able to downgrade it, but you'll never be able to up-res it. This is like the whole mentality of people saying they want their VHS on a Blu-ray, and they think it's going to be 1080p. Like, yeah, it is going to be 1080p, but it's coming from a 480 source. Just because it's blown up doesn't make it sound or look better. And I know this is talked about with video a lot, but I believe the same thing with audio. Buy quality SD cards. You are doing all this work to get this once-in-a-lifetime audio, once-in-a-lifetime video made for a couple who's getting married. Why chance it with cheap media? Buy good quality audio. Now, they don't have to be the 128 gig. Most of the audio recorders can't record that much anyway. You can buy a 32 gig card Now, outside of actually recording good audio at a reception, I think one of the most important aspects especially for the toasts at a reception, is to have a game plan with your photographer, with your wedding planner, and your DJ. Have a big powwow with them before the grand entrance even happens. And what I do is I bring a mic stand. If the DJ doesn't have one, we have one. I like to put a mic stand exactly where I want the toast giver to stand. Not only do we have the choice of the background, because let's face it, guys, half of your job is to make sure everything in the shot looks great, not just the person in the shot. But also, it allows for three awesome things. One, it allows us to light them perfectly so we can make them look amazing. Because if they start walking around, we can't ensure that they look good in lighting. Two, if they start walking around, they can fall out of focus very fast. And if you're at a reception that's not during the day, chances are your lighting is very low, so you're probably rocking a 2.8 or faster on your lens, so racking that lens back and forth, find a focus, can be challenging. Three, by allowing them to stand in one position with hands free so they don't have to hold the mic, they can hold their toast, they can hold their glass, they can have their hands free. They actually look and feel calmer on camera. And not only that, most of the people giving toasts probably aren't professional speech givers in front of mass amounts of people. So by telling them where they need to stand, kind of alleviates a little bit of fear that they might have going into this. On this note, when everyone's lining up for the grand entrance, I like to go run out, find everyone who's giving the speech, because 2 months back, I did all this work with all the timelines, all the questions, and I found out everyone who's giving a toast that night, and I have everything pre-planned, so I know who's giving the toast. So I go find them and I tell them that we're gonna have a mic set up. You stand for the mic and you can give your speech there. Sometimes you get a little trepidation from people who like to walk around, and this is how to get around that. By having them stand in that one spot, you have created a lighting setup that makes them look gorgeous. I let them know if they walk around, you will be out of the light and in complete darkness, and therefore we can't use those moments in their wedding film. And most of the time, the people who want to walk around will kind of go, oh yeah, that makes sense. If I'm not in the light, I can't be in their film. They're doing these speeches because they love the couple getting married. They don't want to be taken away from that. So I think by letting them know where to stand, and we're gonna take care of you, we're gonna make you look awesome, and then do it, everything's taken care of for you. I talked to a lot of other videographers and they say they like to stop and start recording throughout the reception. I don't like this idea. There's too much chance for error here. Just let it roll the entire time. I would rather have 3 hours that I need to cull through than to ever miss any part of a speech. Just let your audio roll. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this series. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. If you ever have questions, let me know. I would love to discuss what I know. And the next video, we're going to talk all about why you need a gun holster on your wedding day. I love doing interviews and I love people's stories, so I do a podcast online as well at behindeverystory.com, where I interview people about whatever I find interesting on a certain day. Please check out our web video series called Vendors, where I sit down with the leading wedding industry professionals and ask them all the ins and outs, tips and tricks on how couples can best plan their wedding day, including all the stuff that no one ever tells them. And feel free to use these videos, send them to your couples and be like, here's a teaching trick, and then you're gonna look so awesome because you're imparting knowledge to them. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what videos you'd like us to do in the future and what you would like to learn. I love teaching. Guys, again, thank you so much. My name is Jason from Night Owls Media. I hope you are having an excellent day, and I hope you are doing something creative and amazing today. Do something amazing, do something awesome, be better.